What happens when home improvement doesn't improve your home? According to the Property Brothers, it could be risky business if you're not careful. Jonathan and Drew Scott regularly share useful advice for tackling home renovation projects on their television shows, most notably Property Brothers. And when it comes to the many mistakes that can happen during the process, Jonathan and Drew are pretty much experts at this point. Having weathered many DIY-related storms, the Property Brothers have firsthand knowledge of what works and what doesn't when you're decorating a home, refurbishing a room, or building a house from scratch. Firstly, it's important to never spend too much of your budget on only one room of your house. As Jonathan Scott told ABS-CBN News, if something happens and you have to sell your home, you would want to still be able to get your money back. Be careful not to put in things that other buyers won't pay for. Obviously, this might be difficult advice to follow, particularly as many people have a vision of what they want for key rooms in their house, like the kitchen or master bedroom.
I have a very specific vision for my kitchen.
However, if you're considering selling your home, the Property Brothers suggest doing a simple remodel of the entire residence, instead of going overboard on one specific area. As Jonathan told ABS-CBN News, a light makeover on the whole place can make it feel fresh. Otherwise, your buyer walks in and says, "I love the kitchen, but the rest of the house looks terrible." Then they're not going to give you the amount you're asking for. And when it comes to kitchens specifically, Drew Scott suggests having restraint when renovating, telling HGTV Magazine, "The bolder your kitchen, the quicker it will go out of style, bringing down your home's resale value." Drew also noted that it's important not to crowd a kitchen with too many appliances, and make sure that there's enough space before installing an island. When renovating a house, most people hire a contractor to help complete the job. But according to the Property Brothers, it's imperative that you don't choose someone just because they charge the least. In fact, Jonathan Scott recommends getting written estimates from at least 3 contractors and comparing them, telling HGTV Magazine, "The lowest bid never equals the best job. Some give cheap quotes just to get the job, then tack things on or cut corners and install low-quality products. While you may save money in the short term, substandard work will need to be redone or fixed at a later date, which will only add to the cost." Crucially, any estimate should be detailed and include specifics for the job at hand, such as the cost of the materials and any brand names if applicable, permit costs and insurance information if required, and the amount of labor needed to finish the job. If the estimate doesn't include this information, it's possible that the contractor doesn't have a grasp of the project and could be underestimating the requirements. Furthermore, Jonathan also advised that it's worth spending money if it means a job is going to be done to the highest standard and won't fail at a later date. As he told HGTV Magazine, "For example, we always recommend a bathroom membrane system, which goes under tiles to prevent them from popping and cracking and keeps water from getting into the substructure. I tell clients, if you're spending $15,000 on a bathroom, spend an extra $1,000 to guarantee you'll never have a mold problem." Lastly, it's crucial to budget for your remodel accordingly and leave some room for any unexpected costs that could arise. As Drew Scott told HGTV Magazine, "Say you're installing a backsplash. You might damage the wall and have to replace some of the drywall. Then you see inside the drywall and find electrical issues. And before you know it, you're dealing with more than just a new backsplash." The best way to avoid any costly surprises is to factor in a buffer during the planning stages. Explaining his savvy budgeting tips, Drew told the outlet, "I always tell people to set aside 15% of the total project cost, even more for older homes, for unexpected expenses. Basically, if you're renovating a home, always be prepared."